Have you been in experiences where you haven't felt black enough?
I never experienced it growing up. I feel like it's very specific to like the times that we're living in now. In the eyes of white people, I was just black, you know? There's really not that much more nuance to it. But especially recently, I think this conversation on colorism has been coming up, and I've kind of had to recognize and, you know, be vocal as a responsibility of it around being lighter skinned and being biracial, and the accessibility that that affords me.
My name is Star. 2 R's. Daddy named me that. Garden Heights. Mama and Daddy says our life is here because our people are here.
I think one of the most powerful scenes in it is the scene where Maverick gives his children the talk. I think you go into that thinking it's one thing and then very quickly realise that it's something very different. Is that something that you experienced as a child as well?
It is, and you know, what always surprises people is the fact that I received the talk from a cousin who was a cop. And so he's the one who told me, keep my hands visible, don't make sudden moves, only speak when spoken to, because he understood the complexities and the dangers of being a young black person in America.
Yo, Star, you okay?
Go back where he told you. Khalil, I'm not playing. Go back where... What did you do?
Coming after films like Black Panther and Girls Trip, it really feels like different kinds of blackness are starting to be represented on screen. Is that something that you feel is true, or do you think we still have some way to go?
I think we still have some way to go, but I think we're getting better. Because there's more filmmakers, more African-American filmmakers, more women of color, controlling their own visions. Before it was only 80%, it was just white men in Hollywood making these movies. And now we have different people, different visions, different individuals, and everybody got a point of view.
It's about more than just Khalil. It's about black people, poor people, everybody at the bottom.
I need to speak for him.
Did you want to read this and see this film the most?
You know, I wanted the kids who are like Star and like Seven and like Khalil and like Sakani, I wanted them to see themselves first and foremost. You know, so often books and media, period, fails them. They either don't show them themselves, or when they do show them, it's a distorted image. So I wanted to show them themselves and tell them, I love you, I see you, I understand you.
And therefore, how did you feel when your book was banned by 2 schools in America?
And it was hurtful because it was coming from people who had obviously not read the book. They just jumped to conclusions and made assumptions without reading it. The book is not anti-police, it's anti-police brutality. And I wish that they would have, you know, I wish that the police officers who had an issue with it would have taken note from the police officers who had book clubs with kids surrounding the book so that they could strengthen community relations, you know. So I wish people would actually give it a chance before they write it off. Just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not necessary.
When you're ready to talk, you talk. Don't ever let nobody make you be quiet. I ain't named you Star by accident.
What would your advice be to young black actresses trying to make it in the industry?
I would say, make your own shit. Like, honestly, make your own stuff. Don't become reliant upon studio system. There have been a lot of casting opportunities that I've gotten just from making my own stuff and putting it out there and people seeing it. So I feel like that's really special. Even Issa, who's in this movie, you know, that's how she ended up getting her HBO show, is she recorded her own material on a shitty flip camera, whatever you want to call it, so like flip phone camera, on like a video recorder, and like edited it together herself, put it on YouTube, and like it went viral, and now she has such an incredible show. So
absolutely,
yeah.